Hello, Internet Allies! How are you doing? And happy LGBTQ History Month! And to celebrate LGBTQ History Month, I thought, as a pansexual person myself, I'd talk about a few of my favourite pansexual characters in media. So, here we go! I feel like arguably the most famous pansexual character I can think of, who is definitely one of my favourite pansexual characters, is Deadpool from the Marvel Comics and the Deadpool movies. I think the reason for this is that it's great because I feel like he does have like a lot of flirty banter with, you know, anybody regardless of their gender, and I don't really feel like he takes it too far either, which, you know, is saying something for Deadpool really, to be honest, because he's probably one of the most outspoken people in the Marvel universe kind of thing. I just love it because he is very like charismatic and confident, and you know, I just aspire to have like that charisma and confidence in my life. Maybe not so much that I would just like end up just being the world's biggest flirt, but still. Another pansexual character I thought was really interesting, and the actress who plays this character confirmed it, is Mal from Descendants. I really did enjoy the Descendants movies. I think they're like my favourite of like the Disney Channel movies, to be honest. I do like the songs, and I do like the concept of like they are sort of like the children of the Disney villains. And Mal is Maleficent's daughter. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, I didn't really pick up on the fact that she was pan in the Descendants movies, to be honest, but I still think it's a really interesting concept, to be honest, and it's nice to see sort of queer representation, especially in like Disney movies and Disney Channel shows as well, and Disney Channel movies. And I feel like she must be like one of the first queer Disney characters, really, and that is like amazing to see, and I would just love to see more queer Disney characters, especially like at the forefront, because I feel like with queer Disney characters in movies, they sort of like either side characters or like cameos, and we need a queer front character and everything. Another pansexual character I really like, and it's kind of been more of like a recent one that I've only recently sort of like discovered, is David Rose from Schitt's Creek. And I really love his character. He's very sort of cynical and sarcastic, and what's great is he's got great fashion sense as well, so I love that. And he does have a male love interest in the later series, but he also has like a female like friends with benefits like towards like the start of Schitt's Creek and whatnot. And those two like play off each other really, really well and whatnot, because they're both very like cynical and sarcastic. And the female like his girl best friend Stevie, she's like the one that has to like pull David together sometimes, you know, sort of thing, call him out on, you know, his nonsense and whatnot, and when he's just basically being over dramatic, which can definitely happen. Yeah, and what I like is that, you know, his family, David Rose's family, do accept him for who he is, and also his friends do as well. And, you know, they love him unconditionally, because regardless of his sexuality, which I find is great, you know. And what I like is that his pansexuality doesn't necessarily like define his character as well. You know, I think like anybody is more than their sexuality. Okay, so I'm going to talk about two other characters now. However, one of them is confirmed to be pansexual, but I thought he was bi. And one of them is confirmed to be bisexual, but I thought he was pan. So I'll go for the one that was confirmed pansexual first, but I thought he was bi, is Loki from, well, the Marvel Comics, the MCU. Now, Loki, as long-time viewers of my YouTube channel may know, he is like my favourite Marvel MCU villain. I just think he is very charismatic, as I say. And what I really like is that in the MCU, he is literally the first openly queer character we get to see in the Loki TV series. And yeah, it's great that he can just have like a casual conversation about his sexuality, his gender identity as well. And, you know, that is great to see, and it shows a lot more sort of like inclusivity and understanding as well. Finally, the character that I definitely thought was pan, but he's actually bi, is Magnus Bane from Shadowhunters. Again, this is another one that I've sort of recently discovered. I started reading Shadowhunters books last year, and late last year I ended up watching a TV series. And I do remember Magnus Bane saying something along the lines of, I fall in love with the person before the sex, kind of thing. And that kind of does sum up pansexuality to me, to be honest. He's a warlock, he's dated men, women, people of all genders over the hundreds of years he's been alive. What I love about Magnus's character is that, yes, he is very extra, basically. You know, he likes to sort of make an effort with like dates and goes to like really extravagant extremes to go on dates, but at the same time he's still learning how to sort of feel like he's enough as he is. You know, he doesn't need to be all like magical and majestical, you know, for people around him to like him for who he is, because, you know, he is enough. And I think that's something that's really important to remember. And I think that Alec Lightwood, his partner in the Shadowhunter series, helps him to understand that. I think it's definitely important for whoever you are with to make you feel like you are enough as you are, because, you know, I'd much rather go on a date to, say, McDonald's and have a huge laugh with a person than go to a really boring date, like, you know, and this person bores me to tears or is really nasty to me, like, you know, if it was like at a really fancy restaurant. Okay, I hope that makes sense anyway. However, I do think it is important to sort of respect what people choose to identify themselves as, you know, regardless of their sexuality or their gender identity. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know what your favourite characters of your sexuality are down below. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Until next time, keep smiling. Bye!